Nutcracker is a show that has become more popular the more we've done it. It's fantastic. It's a show where you get to connect with an audience, and we're a company that loves that connection. So we want the audience to respond. You know, it's not like a lot of ballet that you can go to where you have to be all polite and po-faced and shh, don't laugh, don't clap. I think dance can often be alienating in that sense, and what I love about this show is it's very warm, and it has a very warm feeling between the performers and the audience. Well, this version of Nutcracker was actually premiered with an opera company, Opera North, and at the time my company was really small, 6 dancers, touring around in a minibus. So it wasn't the kind of thing that I would have ever dreamt of doing. So when it was put to me, could you create a new version of Nutcracker, the initial reaction was sort of, what a weird thing. But the thought of being able to create something new and something contemporary with that amazing music, it really appealed to me as a storyteller. When I started to listen to it, I found it to be quite dark as well, not what I'd sort of initially thought, having seen other productions of Nutcracker. It all seems very sweet and light and fluffy. The classic Nutcracker is not actually a great story. It starts off as a story about children at Christmas and toys that come to life and an uncle. I mean, I'm even vague about it because I can't, every production is a little bit different. I think what I tried to do was to try and create a story that did have a beginning, middle and an end, and some sort of dramatic tension running through it. So our story is set completely different location in an orphanage where Clara, who is the heroine of the piece, is an orphan, and she's kind of got a crush on the oldest boy in the orphanage, who is our sort of Nutcracker figure, who is, I suppose in the original, like a prince or something. It's, again, a bit vague what he is. And the orphanage is run by these 2 vile, very Dickensian characters again, Dr. Dross, who comes from the Drosselmeyer character of the classical piece, and his wife, the matron of the orphanage, Mrs. Dross. And their children are called Fritz and Sugar, and they are nasty brats, you know, spoilt, overfed kids who go to dancing school and do ballet, I guess. And the kids escape from the orphanage into a better place, which for us is like the land of snow. And it's very symbolic, really, of a release, you know, of kids being able to actually run out of this dark place into an enormous white world. It's like a miracle, it's magical, you know, to them, and we try and get that across, that it's something that they've never experienced before. And the feeling of skating on ice expresses freedom in such a wonderful way. Clara's man is stolen away from her by Sugar, the rich kid, and it's about her journey to get him back, really. The second half we call Sweetie-land, and this is where you can go to town, really, in terms of fantasy characters. It has been compared to The Wizard of Oz, that you start in black and white, and then in the second half you almost go into Technicolor. Very much so. It's incredibly colourful. And that in itself has a great emotional kind of feeling to it as well, release. In the original production, there's a series of national dances. So there's an Arabian dance and a Russian dance. So we've sort of ignored that in a sense and made them characters that are based on sweets. The Russian dance, for example, becomes gobstoppers. And they're like little bother boys. We have a group of girls called the Marshmallow Girls, who are all in pink. They're all a little bit Marilyn Monroe-like and Hollywood, sort of musical inspired. there's a character called Knickerbocker Glory. This is the Arabian dance in the original, and he smokes with a cigarette holder, and he's kind of slightly seedy, caddish sort of character, and possibly smoking something other than cigarettes. It's based on Terry Thomas, actually, the British comedian with a gap tooth. We have a group of licorice all sorts. This is to the Spanish dance from the original. They have very shiny black hair, like it's made of licorice almost. For us, it was an excuse to let the imagination run riot and create these fantastical characters, but to keep this story going throughout of Clara's search for her man, you know, who she eventually does get at the end. And it's got what all good family shows should have, I suppose, is a really good surprise happy ending that actually makes you feel something, rather than just, oh, that's nice, you know. But it actually, I think it's quite moving. And I don't think Nutcracker ever is, you know, I don't think it generally has been. It's just pretty and you know, some great dancing in it. I think what I like about this version is that it does make you feel something for the characters, even though it has all the elements that you want of humour and spectacle and fantasy. It's at its heart, there is a heart to it. You know, it is a moving piece, and it sends you out happy and full of the joys of life, I think. And I think, again, like all good family shows, there's always another generation of people ready to see it now. And this is what we found with it, that it's the word of mouth that we get from the show. It's something people want to share with other people.